Hi, I'm Tony Perkins, President of the Family Research Council here in Washington, D.C. I'd like to take just a few moments and talk with you about the future of our country. If you were to pick up a newspaper on any given morning, it's evident by the headlines that our nation is at a crossroads. I can tell you that what is at the heart of what we face is neither political nor is it partisan. But at the heart, what we face is a spiritual battle that is raging for the heart and soul of the people of our nation.
Maybe you're here today in the hopes that God will see the mess we're in and will do something. Well, He sees the mess we're in, and He's grieved about our nation and the condition of His church in America, which is why He's looking for a man. And verse 16 says He was astonished. He was stunned. He was stupefied. He was amazed that He did not find a man. He found no one who was willing to intercede.
When God sounds a spiritual trumpet in the land, would you recognize that He was doing it? Do you not already hear the warnings of God? Do you not already hear that the enemy is coming in like a flood? And God is trying to raise up a standard against it. And you and I are the standard.
But you know, the Lord is not going to come back and look to the government and look to even the educational institutions. He's going to come back and look to the church and say, you're the salt and you're the light. You're the ones that got to make the difference right now. I believe the Times is summoning the church to take its position in the marketplace, because it seems like the world, even in this nation, don't seem to understand what to do. How could we, in this particular day and time, not understand that we need revival again? We need the fires of prayer and the fires of revival to come back to this nation again.
As pastors, there's a special role that can be played to reclaim our heritage and our culture. It's significant, but we don't see pastors today the way we used to see pastors. And as pastors, we got to rethink the way that we look at society. For example, if you go back to the time of the American Revolution, when John Adams was asked who's most responsible for American Revolution, for America's independence, he listed a number of ministers. He didn't list John Hancock and George Washington, Thomas. He listed Reverend Dr. Jonathan Mayhew, Samuel Cooper, George Whitefield. He started listing ministers and saying, this is why we have independence. And it's because ministers helped us view things through God's perspective.
We have to care not only about bringing the gospel to others and fulfilling the Great Commission to make disciples, baptize them, teach them all that we have been taught, but also the cultural commission. We are now redeemed, and we're to redeem God's fallen culture, and that means we are to read the signs of the times, we are to see what the culture is saying, we are to look at everything in life through biblical lens, and then act accordingly to bring Christian truth to bear in the great struggle for the heart and mind of this culture.
Now wait, before you turn this off, I'm not advocating that you get involved in politics. What I'm asking you to do is join with thousands of other pastors all across this nation to renew your personal and corporate focus on prayer.
God's indictment of the ministers of Jeremiah's day was that they spoke and acted out of their own imaginations and hearts and did not stand in the council chamber of the Lord, Jeremiah 23:18.
Finney was summoned to Philadelphia, which is where we are today. And he came to Philadelphia because Philadelphia was the Harlem of that day, meaning that there was so much stuff going on, so many kind of sins, so many drinking, so many kind of crimes going on. He came here, sent Father Nash to pray for weeks in advance. He would call inquiry meetings. In the inquiry meetings, the house that he would go into, they'd start crying. Power of God would come because how? Why? God began to break the nation. This nation needs to be broken. Their heart needs to be impacted by God again. Somebody got to pray like never before.
Pastors have to be the watchmen of our community, as that term is used biblically. We have to be the ones who are looking to read the signs of the times.
When God sets watchmen on the walls of a nation, God knows there's impending danger. The enemy is coming. And the watchman was designed to watch carefully, night and day. And whatever they saw, they were to announce so that God's people would know how to respond.
What America needs is several key pastors in every community assuming their role as moral and spiritual leaders as watchmen on the wall. In times of national distress, the Lord has always strategically placed men as watchmen on the wall. My question for you, is God calling you to be a watchman on the wall in your community?
I have set watchmen on your walls, O Jerusalem. They shall never hold their peace day or night. You who remember the Lord, do not keep silent, and give him no rest until he establishes, until he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
Jesus said that he could do nothing except what he saw his Father doing. Then how can we expect to make any difference in our society until we've prayed, until we've called on his name, spent long enough in his council chamber that we know what it is he's doing and what he wants us to do when we come out of his council chamber?
Our goal is that you will seek the Lord about becoming a watchman in your community. Unless the fire is within you, I'm afraid that the culture war could be lost.
But you know what? If you don't stand for anything, you won't die for anything. It's time for us to stand like never before now and come to this place of prayer. Our nation needs you now like never before.
And God is trying to say to us, you need to stand before me and let me tell you what I see and what I hear. And then when I tell you what I see and what I hear among God's people here in America, then we need immediately to turn around from the way we've been going and return to him.
God looks down on America, sees the injustice and the sin, wants to rain down in righteousness, but will not until somebody stands in the gap to intercede. God is as displeased with the condition of America and of his church as we are, and I believe he is poised and ready to act. And today, he's looking for men and women who will be willing to intercede.
Well, as I close this presentation, let me first thank you for watching it. Secondly, let me convey to you our deep appreciation for you as one of America's pastors, and let you know that we deeply appreciate you here at the Family Research Council. We love you, and if you get nothing else from this message, I hope you go away with this, that where we find ourselves as a nation today, we desperately need the spiritual leadership of our pastors. I pray and I hope that you will step up and be one of those leaders that will make a difference in the future of our country. I'm sounding the trumpet from here in Washington, D.C., and I'm asking you to seriously set aside some time to pray about becoming a part of Watchmen on the Wall. What's required? 3 simple action steps. 1, a renewed commitment to personal and corporate prayer for revival and reformation. 2, host a Christian Citizenship Sunday once a year. July is a good month. Preach on Christian citizenship and conduct a nonpartisan voter registration drive on that day. 3, link up with 12 other pastors in your area that will commit to take the same 3 steps and share with them the information and resources that the Family Research Council has made available to pastors.